Okay. Well, the ducky is not live yet, so we'll hold off on that. And for the rest of the game, I'm going to play the featured contracts, I think. So I did them all? No, I didn't do them all. And there's nothing else I need to do because I did... yeah, I already have all these unlocked. I think Sandman suit and safe house cosmetics. Maybe we need to do that. Because maybe I don't have the safe house cosmetics yet. Okay. So, destinations, Hawke's Bay, because that's the Millhouse Reverie. Set. Let's do that again. Specify with the spooky bat. Okay. That should not be too hard. Yeah, I have most of the stuff, but some things I don't think so. Hey, Shardy, welcome. I'm doing the Mills Reverie because there's still some stuff left to do. I have most of the stuff, but yeah. Can get rid of you. Bonk. Put you here.
Hello there.
Where's the bat? Here it is. Hey, Corrido, welcome.
Hello there.
I don't need this. Hey, Abai, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's see, where's our target over there? Might as well go this way. Doom, doom, doom. I know Halloween has passed, but yeah. I thought I did everything, but I saw there was some cosmetics for the safe house that I still don't have. Get the bat. Where are you going, mister? Get over here. Oh, crap. There we go. Whoop. Simple. Yeah, this escalation isn't too difficult. Okay. So this is the same thing, okay. Maybe I can take a briefcase. Can I take a briefcase? Can't take this in this disguise, okay. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, distractions. I'll just take some coins. Durian, whatever. Smuggled item. Can I smuggle something? All the way here. I don't think I need that, but yeah. Whatever. Let's just rush through this. And then get to the featured contracts. Oh, this is the change. The bat is over there. I remember. It's near that one tree over there, I think. I don't know exactly which tree. I think it's that one. Yeah, there it is. Huh.
Hey, what's wrong with you? See the suspect! Right over there!
I don't care. Just get the fuck out. Why can... Oh, push Orson off the roof. Oh, right. That was a thing. Let's see. I thought I could get up here. Yeah. It's a shame you can't climb up like that. Oh, I don't have the key for that.
Oh! Whoa!
I already did this once, so I don't really care to do it again. But yeah, just for the cosmetics. Goodbye, sweet prince. Sacrificing to the angels. Oh wait, I can just go down here and get to the exit. We've got a blood sacrifice to make, people.
Any description on the possible suspect? Sorry, Jesus H. Christ! Intruder! There's an intruder! Serious?
Pom pom pom. Just get it done. Just get it done. Blood bones. Okay, the exit. There we go. Right, I forgot that the escalation, you had to do these steps. So just take that into consideration for this one. 2 stars. Pacify or eliminate all guards. Okay, we can do that. Do I need anything else? No. Pacify, just shoot them all. There's one on the beach there. There's a dude here somewhere. Over there. There we go. Yeah, but can you do it without causing red guns? I think you can. Well, if nobody sees it, then maybe. Yeah. Let's see. No, see, you can't. Because he's a non-target. Make all targets go to sleep. Okay. That we can do. Replan. So, it's a shame I can't do that. So I'll take... Instead of a durian, I'll take a... I want to whack people over the head with this. No! That was the wrong button. Why isn't there an are you sure destination? The reverie. Planning.
That was wonderful. Bravo! I loved that. That was great. Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really
Not yet.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get 'em away.
Boo!
Boo!
And I love that sound clip. Hey, Choda. No, I didn't, Shardy. I just saw I missing some unlocks from this escalation, so I'm doing this now. Get this out of the way, and then I'm doing the features. Just gonna knock him out, knock everybody out. Let's see if we can do this silent assassin. Bonk! Surprise, motherfucker! Bum 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 bum. Can you come in here?
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, motherfucker.
Trotter Boy 65 just redeemed hello, mother effer.
I think I just heard something.
Hey. Hello, motherfucker. Welcome, Choda. Happy Friday to you. Good to see you. Get you in here. Okay, don't need that. But I do need this. Okay. So, can I get this dude to go in there? No. Maybe with a coin? Yes. Okay. I'm a handyman, that's why I have a wrench. Come on in, dude. Next are these two fuckers. Where's my... Here it is. These should be safe, I guess. Just to be safe. Okay. Now, let's see about these two jokers. What's this? Squeaky toys.
Jeez. Hey, would you mind? Check it out. Understood.
Get you in here. Because there's some people walking about here. There they are. Let's get you in here. See, over there. Oh, he doesn't hear that. Where's everybody else? Let's put you in here. It's so dark. Okay. So they are taken care of. There's some people walking about here, yes. I think he turns around. He goes to the edge here and then...
Okay. No. What?
Where the fuck did he go? Apparently he went over there. Woo! Yeah, it's still not active, so maybe later today. I was just checking the drops before I started the stream and I saw it was not listed yet. But that's what the previous drop was, also didn't activate.
Weird.
Yeah, it should be getting active, but yeah.
Underscore just redeemed. Weird.
Oh, he's the one that stands here. Okay. Okay. So yeah, last time it also took a while to activate, so I'll keep an eye on it while I play and see if everything activates. Let me see. Okay, he's over there. He's over there. Can I like peekaboo him over? Let's see. Can I coin him over? No. Don't know.
Wow.
There's two guys here now. Okay. Alright, he turns around now. Cool, 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 cool. Wait till he gets to the edge. Get a skull fracture, motherfucker. Alright. And how is my my focus is brighter than the actual game. Good grief. Okay, so we finally get the spooky bats. There we go. Here's another dude. Okay.
Command. I just heard a weird noise. I'm moving in to investigate.
Okay, he's gonna get bonked. And he will be in the bushes, so that's good.
Max?
Sandman. Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream. Boom, 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 boom. Like roses and rivers. Okay, he's coming here, so I'm just holding off on bonking him. Because otherwise he may see. Or I should order Orson first. The nights are over, Sandman. Bring me a dream. Do, 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 do. Let's get you in here. Alright. Get the bat. Something to womp with. And a fishy. Bom, 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 bom. Maximilian might be back. Okay. Rachel Z clip, yeah. Weird, weird. Okay, so I think that's everybody here. There's one near the Weeping Angels, and there's a dude up there. I'm afraid he might see that and freak out. I don't know if he freaks out though, but yeah. Do we want to take the risk? Okay. Dude, get over here.
I got some weird bullshit over here. Hang on.
Got some weird bullshit over here.
Could you be any more annoying?
Okay, get you into the bushes. I realize it's dark, guys, but yeah, it's this version of the map. Let's see. How many more? 59 guards. Okay, there's one up there. Where are the other guards? Oh, there's two. There's one in there. And I think there's one out back and two more like over here. Oh yeah, that's the guards, okay. Nights are over, Sandman, bring me a dream. Boop, boop, boop. Get you in here. I don't want you here. I want you there.
Excuse me? Got some strange noises here. Looking into it. Over.
Let's see. Yeah, that's the closest one. Okay.
Anyone there? Answer.
Alright, alright. It's a bit of a violent game of tag. Let's see, there was one over here. Yeah, okay, they're out there. Oh, there he is. Boom, 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 boom.
What was that?
Meaty bone.
We have a possible disturbance, or it could just be Max moving in to investigate.
Spooky bat. Cool. Okay. Let's get up there. So fucking dark. So hard to see. Okay, let's get the guys upstairs first, because otherwise they will see down and find all the guys. That's not something I want to happen. Ooh. Are they now gonna go into their little chat? Oh boy. Okay. Crap, why is this locked? Crap. Okay. Let's see. I think I can get him in here. Yeah, that should work. Can I here?
Oh? Hey, I got a weird sound over here. I'm gonna check it out.
I hope they don't see that, yeah. Yoink. Okay. Uh-huh. Let's see, there's nobody in there. Okay. Get up here. Okay. Are they now gonna get into their alternate routine? Oh, right. That dude. Gotta be careful of that dude. He will see the body. He's the only one left here, right? Yes, okay. So, I will go down first. Get rid of him. And then we'll push Orson off, and then we can sacrifice him to the Weeping Angels. And then... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, fucking A. Welcome, happy Friday. Sorry I didn't see you earlier, but I was concentrating on this. Surprise, motherfucker! There we go. Get you over here. Where the other ones are over there. Okay, so let's push Orson off the roof because there's nobody left here except these two, but they're far away and they won't see him. But that's good. It's a good. Get these two.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Ah, I should have had a this is Sparta thing available. Okay, so the dudes are over there. Let's see. He's over there. He's all the way over there. Get that out of the way first. Don't turn around. And he turned around. Nice. Okay, and now we go sacrifice him to the Weeping Angels. Hey, Happy Gay! Happy Friday. I'm doing well. I am doing this escalation because there's some stuff I wanted to unlock. I didn't have everything. I did this before, and then you get the I think you get the pumpkin suit before. But there's also some cosmetics for the safe house, so I'm doing that. Basically, boom. Be gone. There we go. Bring Orson with you into the closet. Oh, Orson is over there. Okay. Put him in the closet? Yeah, I know, but I was looking for him where he was. I didn't notice where he was. Hey, dude. Drag. Drag, drag. What a drag. Yeah, I'm putting him back into the closet. I guess he came out of it. Yeah. Go right back, dude. There you go. There we go. Okay, so I should have stuff unlocked, so now we can go finish up the featured contracts. I think I have a few more left. 21 minutes flat. Okay. Not too bad. Sandman suit. Nice. Guess I hadn't unlocked that yet. It doesn't give me a notice for the thing though. The safe house cosmetic, but I guess it's when you're going to freelancer. Anyway. Oh, we can look at... Should we look at... whatever. Hey, Alonso. Welcome. Happy Friday. So we have a few left. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Oh, I failed this one. Why? What was up with this? Oh, right. Oh, I didn't want to figure out that one yet, so... Let's go to Sapienza, Noroi. A contract has been issued and you've been cleared to engage. That is a default contract text. Melee. So I need a knife or something. As the plague doctor. Ew. No shenanigans over there. So let's just start in the mansion. Yeah. Or here. Melee, so I need a knife or something. What shall we take? What? The golden dragon scissors. Or no. The jade dagger. Let's use that. And otherwise it's just melee. I gotta find my way to... I always get lost in this freaking mansion. I gotta get to the underside of the observatory. And on the wrong side of the map. I think on the wrong side of the mansion, but okay. That doesn't really matter. DeSantis. Gotta get there, so... Everybody's a critic here, even him. Crap. Okay. Let's just go.
Oscar. Nothing to report.
Gotta get here, right? I gotta get over there. See, I knew it. I was on the wrong side of the mansion. But yeah, doesn't really matter. We can get there. We can get there. We can get there. Alright. Is there a way down here? No. God, this game can be freaking dark at times. Oh, I thought there was a door. Let's go down. I don't even know why I bothered to bring something, because there's a knife here and a knife there. Yeah. Dude, I need to come in. Should have brought coins. Can the doors close, please? Thank you. Oh fuck, I see them coming. Fuck. Okay, okay. I don't need this. I need distraction coin, and I'm go. Crap! Wrong button. I don't want to start there. I'll just start over here. Way easier. Oh, maybe I should have brought... Right. But they don't like me.
It's hot. I respect a man of the earth, but you got no business here, sorry.
Can't let you through.
Okay, much faster. Okay, coin. See, that carries much further. Okay. Okay. Now, these jokers will come in later. What about them? Oh boy. What about you? Crap. Oh, he's here now.
Hey. No.
Shh. What he found? Oh, from there? Seriously? You fucker. Okay. Well, let's pretend for a second that it's all right. So now my dude is over here. So I could just like do this, and then he will come in, and then I could like okay. It should not be too hard to get him alone if I just get rid of the dude and just need to put him down the stairs, not up the stairs. Oh, holy frame rate, Batman.
It's hot. Sorry, we're not in need of a gardener right now. Please turn around.
Yeah. What if I do this? Oh, wait. I need to be in the right outfit, right? Get in here. Coin.
Huh.
Marcello Franceschi. Come on in, claim your prize.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Whoop. There we go. Get rid of this. Police everything. There we go. Now, there was one that comes in here. That's him. So I can just drag him in here. Nobody can... Well, not in here. I'll just drag him in here. There's no... Oh, there's a box right there. Okay. Which way does it swing? This way. Okay. Now it should swing towards me. Yeah, good. Hoo-yah! Okay. Put him away. Okay. So... Lad should be coming in real soon. And then I can lure him in here. Right over there. Yeah, that's good. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, like that.
Get rid of you. Just in case. I know I probably don't have to, but yeah. Just want to make sure. Alright. Cool. And now it's down to him. Let's see. Anybody here? No? Hi. 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 Let me see. Gotta watch out for the cook here, so over here. Doesn't seem to be coming.
What the? Command, we might have a situation. I'll check the perimeter. Over. Oh.
There we go. Whoop. Yeah, safe outfit. Now all we have to do is get out of here and avoid the cameras.
There's a dead rat.
Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Later, boys. It's good to see you. Good to be gone. Hey, Penny. Happy Friday. Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Cool, cool, cool. That wasn't too hard. Thank God. I'm 71 on the globals. I'll take it. Leaderboards. Friends. Hey, Manga didn't finish this yet. Okay. Ah, 2 minutes. Next. Exit. Day's been good. I'm glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. Let's see. Featured, and then Sapiens again. Let's go to Hokkaido first. Just switch it up a bit. Revenge of the Fugu Fish. Injected poison, injected poison. So I need 2 injections. Ooh. Is there injected poison on the map or no? I don't know. Poisons. Lethal syringe. And these dudes need drowning. So make him sick, maybe. And that's a kitchen knife, so that's not really a problem. Okay, and I gotta be a chef. Headband dude. Okay. I don't think I need that. Let's see. What do you need? Injected poison, injected poison. Injected poison. All bodies must be hidden. Okay. Is there a box in here? Yeah, there is. Okay. Let's put you in here. Alrighty then. And I bet he is the kitchen knife. Yes. Kitchen knife. Dude, can you calm down, please? He's drowning. Okay. All 5 shots must be headshots. Are you kidding me? Why? Why does that happen? He's not there yet. Okay. Put you in here. At least I'll have room to stash you people. Kitchen knife, yes.
I know you're there. Come out.
Hard to let go. Okay.
Okay, you need to puke, dude.
Okay. Sounds a
Oh, and him.
but yeah.
Jeez, weird.
I think we have something in common.
Oh,
You and me.
I feel horrible. I mean, I could die from this.
Nice to chat.
I don't want to die.
Let's see, is there a... let me see. Rat poison.
That's a little harsh, isn't it? A total ban?
I don't know. The patient did die. Famous one at that.
Still, it's not the chef's fault. What was a kitchen apprentice?
Where are you going, dude?
Fugu fish by himself unsupervised.
Oh, I don't have anything to shoot to... crap.
Didn't the kid realize how poisonous those things are?
Hey, he's a kid. Well, probably wanted to show off. I don't know. But anyway, the hospital administration probably thought it would be better to just ban serving fugu altogether.
Poor chef.
Excuse me, you're invading my bubble. You're in my bubble right now.
Poor chef. That was his best part.
Now I gotta go take care of the camera turn. Crap. Okay, he should be coming in here, I guess.
The way she tore down the witnesses was brutal. Disgraceful, even. I mean, I always felt like she loved doing that in front of the cameras.
Occupado there, dude.
Do you mind giving me some privacy
Ew,
here?
that's gross.
You are coming into my bathroom.
Could you leave me alone? Do you mind giving me some privacy here? Oh,
God damn it.
really nice.
Okay. Dude!
Hold it right there, psycho.
Operating theater, that's... Where the hell is this? Oh, Hidden Stairs restroom. Is that over here? Let's take this. Oh my god. Yeah, it's over here. Okay, cool. Okay. You in here. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, welfare checks. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm just working through some last of the featured contracts that I still have open.
Hello?
Hi. Let's see, I need to go to...
That's a little harsh, isn't it? A total ban?
I don't know.
Bathrooms are over there, right?
Famous one at that.
Still, it's not the chef's fault. What was a kitchen apprentice thinking, cutting out a fugu fish by himself unsupervised? I mean, it takes years of practice. Didn't the kid realize how poisonous those things are?
I cannot believe they let Yuki Yamazaki in here. Yeah, I saw her at the spa earlier with an entourage of bodyguards. Yeah, I had to leave.
You're kidding.
Okay.
What, the Yakuza lawyer?
The Yakuza lawyer. Oh wait, it is over here, right?
Throw it out, I guess. It's a damn shame.
Careful, careful.
The chef had to refuse serving Yuki Yamazaki his signature dish. I mean, despite her constant requests. He asked about it just an hour ago. It's really too bad.
All shots must hit an NPC. Are you fucking kidding me? Crap. Who thinks of this bullshit? Oh my god. So far so good. Oh, good to hear that. Okay, let's not fuck this up now. Okay, come over here. You go over here.
That's a little harsh, isn't it? A total ban?
I don't know. Patient did die.
Okay, I was gonna take care of the camera first, but yeah, decided against it because he was at the spot right now.
Hello?
There we go.
Poor chef. That was his best party trick. Now what do we do with the last fugu?
Throw it out, I guess. It's a damn shame, too. The chef had to refuse serving Yuki Yamazaki his dish.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Don't move.
Okay. Oh, right. I need to get this. Cool.
Dish. I mean, despite her constant requests. She asked about it just an hour ago. It's really too bad.
Wow.
Can I help you? You're kind of inside my personal space.
I don't think she likes the special sauce, Rick.
Wow. It's not worth losing the job over, that's for sure.
Okay. So they should both be going to the toilets.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, there's a dude in there.
Cannot believe they let Yuki Yamazaki.
I'm just waiting for him to go in here because then I can stash him in there.
Yeah, I had to leave.
You're kidding me. What, the Yakuza?
What? Figures.
Okay. Cool. There we go. You hate that camera? Yeah, this is one of the newer ones. This is the latest batch of featured contracts. Yeah, and that camera in that position can be a pain in the ass. But yeah, okay. Cool, now we can get out of here. Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Going for the chopper. So far so good. Yes, yes, yes. Hope there's not an enforcer here. We're alright. There we go. Done.
Winning.
And thank you, welfare checks. Incoming ad break. 4 minutes. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's see if the thing is thinging. That's not here. That is... Where the hell is that? Here. Twitch.tv. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, the ducky is live. Okay, so I can change that. Let's see, do I have an image for that? Let's see. Give me a second, guys. I wanna make sure. Huh. Seriously, there is no nice little image for that. Okay. Save. No, I said save. And then downloads. Dragon Duck. I'm fixing my shit here, so bear with me. I have too much shit on my... Over here it is. Okay, browse. And then downloads, I guess. There we go. Okay, make that visible. Ooh, that's a bit small, ain't it? In it. There we go. That is live now, so I am going to drops. Exclamation part. Done. Done and dusted. There we go. And we're golden, I think. Yeah, that's good. Good, good, good. So now that should also work. Right. Cool, cool, cool. Featured contacts. Okay, so we did an Al Qaeda one, so we can go back to Sapienza. Let's see. The curse of Uzumaki. When a town is cursed by Uzumaki, all spirals become a danger. Whether you're stirring pots, whipping ice cream, or walking around in circles, anything can seal your fate. The Elite Institute. Okay. Plague Doctor again. And now is any method. Okay. So to get the plague doctor, this is the easiest way. Can I... There's almost no stashes. There's no stashes in the... Let's see, what shall we do? What shall we do? Don't want to be cleaning up bodies, so maybe just take a poison. I think she is in the corridor cleaning. I don't know where he is. I think this is he is downstairs in the main hall. Is another new drop? Yeah, the crowbar finished the 2nd, so that was Monday, I think. And Ducky is the new one, so yeah, he's right over here. Just went live, so yeah. Maybe I can drop something on his head, so let's try this. It's a bit weird lighting on my face, but it's sun's bouncing off my my closet over there. Okay.
No gardeners, sorry. Very strict security measures today.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Now the question is, do I set up everybody first, or do I just get this first? Okay, let's see. Where the fuck is everybody? Wait, what? In the ice cream shop. Oh boy. And he's in the graveyard. Are you kidding me? This one is in the kitchen. Oh boy. Ah! Later, dude.
My last gig was with the media type. This town looks like a freaking white town. Okay.
Okay. Nice. And Punk did a survey and got a code for TikTok date and that got... Oh, right. The neon duck.
Hey, you mind taking a look? I heard something. Don't know what it was.
Yeah, okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oh, there they are. Expired cans of spaghetti. And now I only need to get to the... Let's go up here. Do you... Decisions. Who do we do first? Let's do... We can exit through the... on the boat in the harbor. I wonder if there's a shot. No, there's no shot. And I can't get in there. Not even with this, right? No, it doesn't work with this gun. Okay, so...
It's like a sauce.
Please, have a seat. Right over with it. Ciao! No,
That's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the pink one. Oh, it's so pretty. It reminds me of cotton candy, and it reminds me of...
Old dude is watching.
Pink, 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 pink.
Crap. And the old dude is watching, and I don't have... Oh my.
Don't do much sport, do you?
Crap. Ah, brother. There we go. A showcase of ducks we have. Yep.
What do you think you're...
No way.
What the? I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, I am.
Go. Pop. Pop. Okay, so let's think about this. How could I get her? Oh, I can... Oh, there's always people here. Or maybe use a propane tank for her or something? I totally drew a blank on where the propane tanks are. Oh right, there's one up... No, I don't have any weapon, no, nothing left. There's a propane tank right here. Okay. Okay. Still wonder... Oh! Yeah, I want to make it easy on myself. Replan. Because I'm coming through the ICA safe house anyway. And then I can put a Seeker there. Yeah, I know, emetics. But hey, the tools in the game. The tools in the game.
I respect a man of the earth, but you got no business here, sorry.
That you get no business here. Okay. Oh, you can see me? Fuck. Hey, Arna. Welcome. Happy Friday to you. I didn't expect him to be that quick.
Yeah, sorry, man. Can't let the gardeners.
Doing decent? Oh, glad you're doing at least a bit decent. Where is it? You! Fuck me, man. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Just working through the last of the features. And then we'll see from there how much time I have left. Okay. Hey, dude.
We have a strict no gardeners policy here.
A strict no gardeners policy? Dude. You're killing me. Okay. There we go. Just take a knife for shits and giggles. No. The chef is coming. Oh, I can. He's now over there anyway. Okay, cool.
Well, this is something.
Say what?
No. Okay, cool. Can you leave? Thank you. You are going over there, so... Wonder who's the closest.
Huh? Hey, check that out, would you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Don't have time for you. There we go. Coin, there we go. Just found out what ghost mode was. Yeah, ghost mode. I have never played ghost mode. It's very stressful, I think. Okay, get this. Okay. It's fun, yeah, I know, Penny, I know. Just pulling your leg. Because I knew you would react to that. Maybe I should have taken a... lockpick, but yeah. Oh, there's also a propane tank in the butcher shop. No. Oh well. I'll just make her sick and do it that way.
Jeez. What?
No! Whew. Okay, where is she going?
Loony alert.
Loony alert. Oh, she's going to the upstairs bathroom. Okay. We can deal with that. She's coming here. Okay. Cool. Now I gotta watch out for washing up boy over here. Good, good, good. He's busy.
Hey, where are you?
Rocco! Rocco! Wake up, you lazy ass! Get your ass into the mansion, otherwise you'll lose your job! Yeah, there's no way to like snipe him from over there, right? No. Are you inside or outside the church? Oh, you're in the backhand. Oh, you're the minister?
Examine a body on ice. That's like a 2-hour drive. And when I get
Oh, interesting. Hmm.
I don't think I'll be home for dinner today.
Crap.
I'm taking the day off. I hear the coffee's pretty good.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going this way. I'm trying to avoid the camera over there. When I was in the tower there, I should have like... oh, I'm trespassing here? Oh, brother.
You've got to be kidding. Man, we might have been... What? One victim right before.
Hey, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh my god.
Hey, I need your help.
Okay, so I know he's coming here, so I can go this way. Okay. Or maybe I can even, if I'm up there, if I shoot this, he might come to the corner. And he can die here. Anybody see that?
Oh, no, you don't. Drop the firearm. Get the hell out of here, man.
So if I can do that, that may save me from going all the way there. And he might even be my first victim. If I can make that happen. Red is going to join us, which will be fun. Oh, nice!
Sorry, no landscaping work for you here. Move along, okay?
Yeah, Red Fury 9. Check her out. She's also a very nice lady. She streams Hitman on Fridays, other games during the rest of the days. She's very fun to watch. Okay, so let's get him. See, because I have a perfect view on that, so maybe I can drop him right there. But first, gotcha, bitch. What a snipe. And it's it's not even a gun made for sniping. Oh boy, rather. Okay. GG thing. Hey, oh, GGRS9, but I changed the name. Well, welcome back, GG Junior. Alota. I love that vagina. What if I just do this? Nobody comes in here because the chef is knocked out. Okay, cool. And now I gotta go get out of here. Yes. Okay. Break it down, JR Alota. Okay. Cool with that. JR. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you too, by the way. That saves me a whole lot of headache near the church. What's this asshole doing? Excuse me? Okay, so she should go up. And she'll be right here. Yeah, I don't have... Well... Oh, we got dude over there. Come on in, lady. Let's give you some... let's go head first out of the window. Cool. Yeah, he's cleaning over there, so now we can take the little, the beetle out for all, whatever it is. Guess what? What is going on, JR? Tell me. What's new with you? Let's go. There we go. Winning.
Winning.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you, thank you. Cool. Number 2. I'm not first with that strategy. Let's see, Phoenix. Wait, what? 1 star. I'm missing a star. Why? I don't have a penalty. No recordings. Yeah, no bodies found. Did somebody find a body? You're popular. You had a clip with manga. It was like, nice. You had a badge with it. Oh yeah, Twitch does the top clip share or something. A superstar. This is not good. Why? Oh, did they find the dude? Replan mission. Well, this does not work. I need the... I'll take the Black Trinity. I really don't want to go to the... Get a body found? I think so. I think somebody found... Oh, I think I know who found the body. Jackie found the body.
Yeah, sorry, man. Can't let the gardeners through here. Sorry.
Well, that's a bit of a shame. Let's get him. So yeah, Jackie walks over there and back, so probably when she went back she saw him lying there. Well, that's a bit of a crap. Gotcha, bitch. Okay. Get you in here. Cool. So this should, yeah, this has a better, this doesn't have as much bloom, even though I had an amazing shot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and drop him here. Because now he's behind the wall and nobody should be able to see that, right? At least, that's the theory. Oh, they already found him. Who found him over there? Let's activate the mod. Let's see. Oh, because he comes out here. And he sees him over here. But if I like... Yeah, if I kill him here... people still see. And if I kill him here... Well... Yeah, if I drop him here, that's... And he lies here, then yeah, see? So when Jackie walks her walk here... She will probably see him lying there, maybe, potentially. I wonder... Dude, why are you here? Is he... What? That was weird. Well, I have the free cam mod, so I can fly wherever I want if I need to. Yeah, I'm still convinced I can... I want to see if I can lure him inside the thing.
Sorry, we're not in need of a gardener right now. Please turn around.
Let's see, because I don't want to go there, so. So yeah, if I can shoot the inside of the window over there, I might be able to do it. Let's see, let's lower my sensitivity so I have more precision. Yeah, there we go. Get over here. I've got you now. I want to see if I shoot here in here, if he goes in there. Okay, let's see if we drop him here, if he will be found. Okay. Gotta keep an eye on that. I don't know why I'm picking this up, but yeah. Boom. Here's a clip. Okay. Do I need this? No, I don't. Freak wait. Here we go. Let's see. I could go into the front and throw a Dorian. Yeah, this also works. Yeah, he's still smoking there, so he should be done in like 3 seconds. There we go.
Hey, wait a minute. Okay.
Okay. We're still green, by the way. Where's washing up boy? Over there. Don't panic. Ah, body found. Crap. You had the best clip, but you lost it. Fuck. I hate when it happens. I'm curious. Oh, you can't shoot that from here. Where the hell did you come from? I need to be even... Let me see. Does the church guy walk under the bell? Yeah, that's a good question. Did they change his music? It's got more oomph than I'm used to. That's a good question. That's a really good question. You got an idea, JR? Tell me. Okay, I want to see what this guy does. Oh wait, he's in here, right? It's him. Yeah, he walks down here. Yeah, but before he gets to the... if he even gets there. I don't think he does. It's a bit of a shame that he's found here. Maybe if I get him all the way over here. Yeah, I think there's a... the body is here. So somebody that's potentially there can see him. We're gonna try put him in all the way into the corner. Maybe when he comes, shoot him in the leg to make him fall off the cliff and in the water. Well, I don't think that works. Because he doesn't fall all the way... Yeah, he doesn't fall Unless I can make it an accident, but that doesn't work.
Policy here. Please turn around and keep walking.
It's a valid idea though, but I don't think he's close enough to the edge. Let me see. Because if he falls down, he just falls here. And then I have to make him fall here. And then he may be in the water, but here he doesn't fall into the water. So that doesn't work. Sadly. I'm gonna try put him in all the way into the corner so that I have so that the angle on Jackie is less and he's out of sight for the for the gardener that's coming up. So I want to put him all the way here. I don't know if he hears that. Maybe if he goes up the stairs I can do this. He heard something. Now he's gonna freak out. I think I need a sniper for that. Coming here. Yeah, that gardener over there that's working over here comes here. Okay, it's it's this dude. Where does he go that he can see? He comes here. Oh, it's him. He saw the guy. Because if I drop him here, he didn't see that. If he is dropped over here. So who saw that? Because he can't see. He can see past the corner. Unless he goes here and looks. It's almost time for him to move. Because it was around 4:20, 4:30 that he was moving. So either I need to be very, very quick so I'm there before he starts moving. And I shot here and the dude heard it in here. That's also weird. He's still freaking out. Okay, dude, it's time for you to move. Let's see where you go. He goes there. How the hell did you spot the body here if you're moving over there? Oh, he saw the body. He came here and saw him. Ah, so that's not a valid... fuck. And then, yeah, he turns around like that. Okay. Yeah, and I can shoot here, but he won't come down. And he goes in there, so luring him inside also doesn't work. Yeah, and luring him here, then he's in full view of the people that walk here. And of the dude that comes out here, and you will see him lying over there. Crap, so I have to go there. Okay. Let me see. Question is, do I even need this? It is a loud gun, so let's change it back to the Krugi. A coin and a lethal. I could use the lethal on him and exit by the boat. Let's see, there's a propane in the butcher shop. Is there anyone anywhere close to the... No. It's a real shame I have to go there, man. I really don't want to go there. I get an idea, maybe when he... that's what you said. I have an Easter egg in Sapienza. Here, there's the Kraken that I know of. That you can shoot the bells on the boat if you're referring to that. Is there another Easter egg in this one?
Landscaping work for you here. Move along, okay?
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, Mr. Yeah, there's a lot of maps have Easter eggs. Some for just shooting the bells, some have the exits. I know on Haven, for instance, there's... I found that on my own, but... Oh. If you find all the decorated skulls and you destroy them, then you can... you get a ghost ship. Crap. Yeah, then the storm comes in, you can see a ghost ship going around the island. There's also in one of the... Is it this map? There's also something that you can do and then you get balloons. Happy birthday balloons.
Very strict security measures.
I can't remember if that's in this version of the map or in the other version of the map, and you have to shoot something and then shoot a few things and then you get birthday balloons. I see it. Well, it's on the one on Haven. That takes a lot of work, and I don't know exactly where they are because there's 10 skulls. And one is in the plane that's off, so you have to use a sniper. And one is on a boat that's far out, and you have to go to the mansion. And they're all over the place. You don't even have to... Oh, but I have to knock him out. Otherwise, he will go back and find his colleagues knocked out. Well, you're good there. He's gonna go walking. Oh, no.
My last gig was with an idiot tycoon based in Mexico City. Places like
sorry, but you can't be here. Someone has to teach this guy a lesson.
Crap! There's lots of yeah, and on Miami, for instance, if you are in the flamingo outfit and you go up to the chopper to exit, you may find that the chopper is not there. And there's a nest there, so if you then go to exit, 47 will fly away, flapping his wings in that suit. And if you have a fish in your hand and you go to the fountains and you walk in a specific pattern, like an infinity symbol pattern, then you will exit on 2 metal dolphins. You ride them out. Yeah, the tentacles take a lot of work, man. It's I wouldn't say it's a pain in the ass, but it's just a load of work, and you have to find them all. It took me a while to find them all back then when I thought when I saw that skull for the first time on the it was the plane. I thought I saw it. What happens? And if you shoot it and nothing happens at first, nobody notices it. There's also no
Hey, excuse me, I don't... Can I help you?
God damn it. So yeah, I know where a few of them are, but yeah, if you ask me where are all of them, I have no idea. Do it give you the flamingo suit blue version? No. It just there's only one version of the flamingo suit you can get, as far as I know. That's the one I have. Is that the pink version or is that the blue? I don't know.
I respect a man of the earth, but you got.
I hardly use it, so I totally forgot what color the flamingo suit is. And why is this game trolling me right now? Maybe I'm too impatient? Nah. I need to add some light here. There we go. Maybe add some light here. Oh, that's a bit too much. Yoink! Yeah, I don't know what the unlock is for the flamingo suit, but it doesn't matter if you're in your own flamingo suit or you get the outfit from the flamingo dude that's walking around. I think they both work. Okay.
What the hell? Hello? You hurt bad?
Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I have coins, so theoretically I'm looking at the clock here.
All right.
Rocco!
propane tank.
Put some pants on.
No, it's you who should relax with that attitude. I got you this job.
I don't have anything. Well, I could bring a big one.
It's the state of the nation, man. You start throwing shit around, and then what? Hey, what?
There he is. Oh, crap. Well, if I do that and I blow her up and then he's already gone and I can get to the exit, that should work. So instead of... But what I do have to be careful about is the customers that are over here. So I have to like drop it a bit over here so that when I blow it up, so over there maybe, if I blow it up I don't blow up the yeah, I don't blow up the customers. And I forgot to replan because I don't need my seeker now. But I do need the big one. Distractions. Okay. So do I need this? I'm not even killing anybody with this, so I can even just say I'm just gonna take it with me so I don't have to bother. I could... Then I don't even have to go through my apartment, shave off seconds there, take the baller again, take the gold one, whatever. So with that I can shoot the dude at the church, because it takes like 4 minutes and 15 seconds for him to get found. I can use this to go out the front door through the locked gate next to the butcher shop. I can get if I take the spaghetti can, I can drop that, get the butcher out, or maybe just panic them. Get them out, get this shit, and then go blow up. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Just got flashbanged in real life. Yeah, yeah. My light that's on my monitor is it's pretty bright, but it's okay now. Okay, plans are forming. I'm having fun with this one, trying to figure this out.
Sorry, we're not in need of a gardener.
I wasn't even trying to get in, dude. Relax. There we go. Hey, Wayland. Happy Friday. Good to see you. Welcome. Okay, so that should work. Maybe I should. You can shave off a lot by sitting out the intro cutscene, whatever you want to call it. Lower my sensitivity. Whew. Beautiful. Okay, so now Gotta take some cans. Because I might need a distraction. And because I have the key card, I can get out here.
Someone help me!
Oh man, I'm okay.
Okay. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do.
You really shouldn't throw. What?
Draw that. Formation. Let's move.
Understood.
Pum 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 pum. Yes. Thank you, thank you. The Picklebot, yeah, hi. That's my stream bot. That handles stuff for me. Nice. How did we do? Now I'm number 1 of my friends list. 3 minutes 10. So I shaved off like 2 minutes. 22 on the globals. Whew. Well, let's see. Phoenix and 7. I just halved your time. Nice. Steph, don't mind Steph, he's a cheater. 123, oh my god, holy shit, man. Argus and 207, just entire minute faster. Nice. Argus is legit. How is Steph a cheater? Well, he has on almost all contracts he has 7 seconds. There is no way in hell you can do this in 7 seconds. Getting to the outfit takes more than 7 seconds. So yeah, he has some mods or something where he isn't seen and he just flies through and it kills the target from probably from the exit and just goes to the exit and just exit. This is impossible. So yeah. And he's on all the things. You need to replay this, climb up the leaderboard. Well, I just gave you a strategy that may or may not help. Okay, so that was, I think that was the last one on Sapienza. So I have Hokkaido left and Haven Island. So let's go to Hokkaido. Let's go to Hokkaido. An angry spirit awakened at Gamma. In its wake, a morgue doctor died. Despite the spirit being loud, it was still a dead silent. Commonly known as Bitterball. Okay. Pistol elimination as the motorcyclist. Almost seems too easy. I don't trust this. Pistol elimination, okay. And then coins, get the dude out of there. Distraction coins. And then something to bonk the other one with. Pulls. Bonkety bonk. Yeah, seems easy, right? But sometimes they are tricky, so yeah. Let's go here. Because I don't know which of the two it is. I think it's the one that's... Oh. That's right, you can't... Oh, thank you so much for the applause.
16 just redeemed applause.
So, you're the curator's research aide, right?
Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
So it is.
Let me guess, you want to know about the medical trial.
Somebody stop!
No bodies may be found. Okay, so that's a thing. So I can just distract him to the other side. Gotta wait here till he watches his clipboard, and now I can get up.
So, you're the curator's research aide, right? Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
You want to know about the medical trial?
Oh! What the hell was that?
Double thumbs up. And yeah.
Where the hell am I going? Oh, I'm going over there.
Go! Keep firing!
Oh, brother.
So,
Too early. Get him. I'm trying. I'm trying. What's that? I wonder why that didn't work.
so you're the curator's research aide, right? Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
Wonder what that was.
I don't even need to bring this.
Oh!
Because there's a poker right there. Can't I just go here?
What's up with the sudden limp on our Resident Evil?
Bum bum ba-dum bum. There we go. I wonder why this got into the featured contract set. Thank you. There's still a lot that can be done with this, because I think if I come in there, if I don't get the outfit, I just pop, then they panic. Yeah. No, I'm not. Friends, see, manga is first in 47 seconds. What? I have ideas.
You're the curator's research aide, right? Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
Is that those bloody kids messing around again?
Crap. He wasn't where I thought he'd be. Let's see if we can shave off some crap. Too enthusiastic.
Hey, so you're the curator's research aide, right? Let me guess. You want to know about the medical trial?
What the hell? Now what's going on?
At least give me some... There we go. It's got a big idea. See? I didn't need to bother with the with anything else. Just get rid of them. I wish I could. I had the. It's a shame you can't bring two things there. Yeah. Otherwise, I could have used a. There we go. Number 29 on the globals. Wasn't see Steph on the number 1 spot with 7 seconds? See? Oh, 11 seconds. It took him a little bit longer to get to the exit. But Argus with 29 seconds. Holy fuck. Phoenix with 36. 40, 41. Then there's me with 44. I think we're basically using the same tactic around here, but I don't know how they do it that fast. Argus is genuine, yeah. Yeah, he may be using some glitches to get up somewhere or through somewhere, or... I have no idea. No, he didn't. He's got 47, I got 44. But he wins because he has 47. Oh well. This is a speedrunner's contract. Mad glitches? Yeah, I don't do glitches. I can neither confirm nor deny any glitches. Yeah, I normally don't use glitches like muffin boost or violin boost or whatever. Featured. Okay, so I have one left. That's this one. I remember this being a pain in the ass though. Scissors. Suit. I'd like to see what they have done, but I don't want to do them. I'd like to see what they have done, but I don't want to do them. Yeah, the speed. Yeah. The glitches are interesting. That's very true, but I don't want to use them either. So also when I make videos on how to do the ETs, I prefer to not do the glitches. Give me a second. It's getting a bit chilly here. Putting on a sweater because chilly. There we go. Let me see, where can I find some scissors? She needs to be an accident. Well, lethal syringe maybe for one of them, so that I don't have to get rid of the body. Lockpick is handy to get into places. Gotta be in my suit though, so I could start here. Let's go check it out. Does anybody know where the scissors are? Oh, I think one of the isn't the one of them getting a massage or something? That's gonna be a pain in the ass. Oh right, and she is in the.
Wow.
I have to melee her with the scissors. Oh, that's probably kind of. Whoa. Yes, bitches, I can see what you got. Hey, Shrimpy. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. And so, yeah. Let's shout out shrimp. Why? What? Why doesn't he do that? Because he doesn't know. Whoops. That wasn't what I wanted to do.
Hello there.
I don't want to do this. Slash unban. Das. Sorry, dude. Hi, Shrimpy. Happy Friday. I'll send him a message. Can I like whisper? Sorry. Press the wrong button. Didn't mean to ban you. I removed it. Removed it. There are some scissors in the doctor's hut. Oh, okay. Do I want to go all the way there? Okay. There we go. My stuff isn't stuffing. It's all going downhill. God damn it. My stuff is... Everything is broken. Okay. Let me see. Oh, that's right. She's over there. And I can't get in here. And the doctor's hut, you mean where the doctor is over there, or in the... Is there a medical tent over here? Still wonder how I'm gonna get her out. Let's see, this is... Can I get a shout out? That's if a mod or I do it. Banana. There's nothing here. Let's see, what's this? That's just a... Those are the toilets. Nothing interesting in there. Ah, this is the ladies' room. Sorry, dude.
Man, you're not getting away with this. I'm getting help.
Where, oh, where do I go? Get scissors. Okay, here we go again.
Well, what do you know?
It's a knife. That's a banana.
Do I know him?
Let me consult Hitman.com or Hitmaps. Let's see, Haven. So that's Hitman 2, yeah. Haven. Search. Scissors. Bloop. Oh boy, there's only one place. Oh, and it's in the mansion. Oh my god. Oh no, 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 no. And over there. I gotta start in the shark hut. Oh, fuck. Ah, that's what I wanted to avoid. Okay, replan. We are gonna start in the shark hut. And the problem probably is I can't bring my own scissors because that doesn't work. Otherwise I could like shark hut. Does that come under tools? No, that comes under melee. Because I have the golden dragon scissors, but that probably doesn't work. Because why would it? Same if you say, oh, you gotta use a screwdriver. You take your screwdriver. And that doesn't work. The screwdriver also doesn't work on stuff you need screwdrivers for. So that's a kind of bullshit you're dealing with. What if I just take this? Okay. Time is it? Oh, it's already 5. Okay, we gotta get to the doctor's hut. Let's see, this is the doctor, right? Let me see, in what room was it again? Oh, it's there. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's on the other side of this wall. I wanted to open the door. Come on!
Me? Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the sun, drinking mimosas until I pass out. And, you know, spend the time making sure to forget all about that.
There we go.
Oh, you bet I am.
What's this? Coins. Okay, nice. Okay. Anybody close? She is the closest. She's in the pool. Laundry room. Okay. Jumping in the box never get old. Yeah. Oh man, that is such a pain in the ass.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay. I'm an idiot. I forgot my... this is faster than all the way backtracking. You did that twice, yeah. It's just the stupidity of having the same button to get in boxes or to open doors. That's and when they're close together, it's so dumb. I don't have to go outside because I saw there's nobody inside. It's amazing. Okay. Where's the exit? Oh, it's over here. So what I want to do is shoot the lady that's in the pool. Want to hit her with the seeker so she can go to the toilet and I can get her there. Yeah, what?
Couldn't be happier right now.
Are you kidding me?
To talk to that Petrova woman anymore. Did you notice how she could hardly get away from her?
What?
She certainly
Give me a second. My wife is messaging me.
apparently she's really eager to get him out of the house. No idea why.
That was a bold attempt, Ferguson.
The servant lady kept asking if he was in there.
Girolata 16
Wow,
just
that's
redeemed
really
bold attempt.
creepy. What is Petrova up to?
Don't know. This whole place is really creepy.
Apparently the water is a solid object. Oh man, you gotta love this game, right? All the silly quirks it has. And we'll just try again.
Apparently gotta do doctor thing here. Meet up with some
Okay. Fishies. Did I hit her? Or did I hit the water again?
Ugh, forget it. Oh god.
Got her.
I'm glad we don't have to talk to that Petrova woman.
Like right now.
Did you notice how clean she was last night?
Well, let me help you. Could hardly get away from her.
touching.
Embarrassing.
She certainly seemed eager.
She's your girlfriend, dude.
Staffers as well.
You're not grossed out by your girlfriend? Oh, it's still a bit low. What does she have on her leg? What the hell is that? That's weird. Some kind of weird tattoo. Oh, here's the other one. Oh, I could... For her, I could probably do... electrocution, maybe? Oh, nice. There's a box here. Okay. Just to be sure. Okay. She's anything. Gotcha, bitch. Okay, who's next? We got 2 left. She is an accident waiting to happen, and she is... Oh, she's in the massage. Is there a propane tank nearby? Because she is in the palms, but she is a pain in the ass to get. She's lying there. Let's go see what her deal is. Or is she near the... oh, she's drinking. Accident.
As I just said, you know, if you need anything or feel unsafe.
Oh. How do I make her have an accident?
I mean, honestly, Charles, I've been curating those.
Oh, it's the curating lady.
Not to mention the shoes, Charles.
Let me see. Hit maps. Propane flask. Where are you? What? On the private island? In the villa? Oh, there's one here. In the cocktail bar. Okay.
You remember the shoes?
It's right up here. That annoying little camera can fuck you up real good. So there's a propane tank in here somewhere, according to hit maps. Why am I stuck? Oh. Oh, it's right there.
Excuse me? I certainly know exactly what they Hey! Can someone check that out quickly?
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my. What on earth is that?
Sure. Back to the pit.
What did... Hey, 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 hey. You know it's not appropriate to throw things. Why?
Ah, you're kidding me, man. Ah, this is a pain in the ass.
How are you, sir?
It's right there. Okay, idea. Change outfit for a second. I am allowed to change, right? It's just gotta be in the outfit. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Yes, come on in. Get your outfit for a second.
Have a nice day. Huh?
Okay. Just gotta remember to switch back to my my outfit. Great. Got it. Oh, bugger. He doesn't like me. Oh, and I can't... Okay. I thought it was that lady at first, but yeah, it isn't.
Give me another martini. Thanks.
Good day.
Ah, she's standing right there.
You are right.
Yes.
Ah!
God.
I want to...
Lots of rum, no lime.
Sure thing, Doctor. Coming up.
Okay, we're cool. Okay, back to doing my. What the hell?
Okay, what the hell is that? Move in. Security break. Gotta find.
Oh, she's not dead.
Yeah, I understand.
Get to safety now.
Fuck. How did she not die from that? Well, that's annoying. They do to the very last featured contract. This is my last featured contract, Artful Jamie. No, yeah, shit happens, JR. You gotta take it all in stride, right? Open sesame. In the Hall of the Mountain King. Did I take my... Yeah, I did. I remember to take my seeker. Okay. Got her.
Oh, okay then. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna hurl.
What's this? Oh, that's a generator. Okay. Wait, I was gonna say I lost her. Now where is she going? Oh, she's going this way. Last time she went around the long way. Okay. So here's the medical office, but that doesn't have any scissors in it, right? Oh, I have scissors. Well, it's convenient that you're here, lady. There you go. The other lady's right over there. So.
How unfortunate. That will affect your final payment.
Unfortunate?
Uncle Jamie just redeemed. How unfortunate.
Scissors. No, I'm doing it right. Well, unfortunate for her, yes. Come on in, lady. Gotcha. Okay. Let's just put you on ice here. Nice. Watch out for the cameras. So now I'm gonna get my propane tank. See if I can blow the lady up. See, well, I could like put the propane tank there, wait till she gets back. Maybe it would be. Maybe I could bring a remote taser, micro taser.
I don't know. Some might say I've been dealt the wrong hand.
Okay.
Could have gone around the other way, but yeah. Okay. Outfit. Thank you. And then... Now he does like me. Why was he not liking me before? Oh, because it was the other dude for the other way. The other time. Okay. Bum 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 ba-dum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Yoink. Now, go get the other keys back. And the other outfit at least.
Anyway, we also need to find a good way of getting those ants here alive. I had some in Copenhagen.
Okay. Because I can get down here too.
Hi. Whatever.
Oh, crap. Christ.
Oh crap. Fuck. Finding an angle to shoot that thing is a bit of a pain in the ass. Where is it? Don't like that it fell over, but yeah. Okay, I'm waiting for her to get back to that thing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Okay, now she's over there. I should have known. Yeah, I'm afraid if I blow her up there, there's a guard back there. I would take him with her. That...
That was a gunshot. What are you waiting for? Move in and find the go, go, go! Reach the principal safe at all costs. Follow me and stay alive.
Right. Even better. Oh my god, the timing on that one, man. Seriously. I'm waiting like that. Is new drop got the bomb trigger, or is it... I don't know what it is, because I don't have it yet. At least as far as I know. Because it went live while I was live, so... Yeah, I don't know what it is yet. And... yeah. I'll have to watch the stream myself to get it. Hype! Hype balls! It just takes... yeah, the Dragon Ducky, indeed. I don't have that yet. I said, but if you guys have been watching a half hour, you should have it by now, I think. Crime noticed.
Help! Somebody help me!
I no idea what's going on. Getting a bit dark in my room. Oh, I'm still okay. You're gonna be here 3 hours? Well, no. Because I don't have too much time left, because my wife is on her way home, and then we gotta go start dinner, so... I hope I can finish this before she gets home, but yeah. That's the big question. You're never gonna guess where I am. I don't know why I'll take this, but yeah, at least I'll have a... I'll have a fiber wire if I need it. Heaven, haven, heaven. Heaven. Why does he see that now? What the hell? Are they making a new Rick Dangerous game? No, I have not seen anything about that. I only know the one from the 80s, but that's where I got my name from, of course. But the I didn't know they're making a new one or remaking it. I don't know. Interesting. It's a remake. Oh, nice. Are they doing the side scroll again, or are they changing it to 3D this time? Okay. Side scrolling 3D. Oh, so basically 2.5D. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Got her. Put it away, dude. Oh my god. Scissors. Okay, lady. Where are we going?
Weird.
Weird. Well, I'm certain I'll have to look that up because I'm interested in that. I got her in the head. It was a headshot. Do you see that?
Don't you do it!
Okay. Okay, lady, let's get you in here. Whoop. There we go. I don't have a coin, so I'll just use this again. Oh, there we go. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, and Jelly Quiddo. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday.
It's time to get swifty.
Because armed and dangerous. Yes, Swift. Swifty.
Hello there.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get the propane tank. Hello there, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. So we can get up here, so I don't have to go all the way around. Just go up here.
Ah, hello, sir.
Hello. Oh, it's that dude. Okay, so then he won't like me because he's an enforcer against his outfit. Maybe I should have waited a few seconds. Plonk. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Put that away. Get your outfit. Yeah. You don't like me, do you? Okay. Well, all this just to get the propane tank. I gotta be in the suit, right? Oh, it's any disguise for the others. Oh, she can be any disguise. Ooh! Only she needs to be in the suit. Stefani Bella. Where the hell is she? Oh, she's the one over there. Okay. So I don't need to really... Well, might be just prudent just to change back.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think I'll skip that.
Change back. Cool. Bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
Hey, go see what's up, okay? Okay.
Big one. Is it your birthday, lady? Because here's some fireworks. Boom. Okay. Now we gotta go. Oh yeah, the massage lady. That's gonna be a thing. 007 first might look like a Watch Dogs game. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of Hitman and something else. Probably gonna have a lot of Hitman influences. So I can be anything, right? Right. So if I get another outfit...
Hello, sir. Nothing here, Command.
Hi.
Moving on. Search the area. We need to find the perp. Will do. I have no clue who did this, but we have to be ready. Stay on your toes.
Is there like another outfit in here, maybe, that I could use? No. Sadly, there isn't. He's a doctor, so the doctors... Can I get you in here?
What?
Yeah, he's security, so that should be good. Because security can get into the massage hall, right? Security should basically be able to go anywhere. Is 007 First Light released it? No. Oh, that's full. Right. Let's put you here then, that you can't be seen from the windows. Okay. Oh, I need your outfit, dude. Just gotta remember to get the outfit back before I go to the island to get the other lady. There's a new trailer out? Oh, okay. Oh, right over here. Okay, so this is not trespassing.
All these problems I've had recently.
This is blissfully painful. So she is anything, right? So I could just throw her over the side.
So bad. Just try to relax.
What? Goddamn! I need help! What the hell? Anyone copy?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, don't go around whacking people in the head like that, you hear? Hey, you! Put down the scissors, understand? Like you'll let a kid just walk around and knock people out like that.
How the hell did you see that from... Oh... Fuck me, man.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I think this is the worst one of all the batches. Of the entire batch. The pain in the ass. Come on. Come on, man. No. Well, fresh start. Anything in the briefcase? No. Coins. Can never have enough coins. Okay.
Enough of this BS. I gotta hurl. Right now.
Huh? You should probably have someone look at you. That looks pretty serious.
Okay, so she's gonna go in here.
for somewhere? You there. Hey, what the?
Hello, security. I need some help.
That's my punishment for wanting to do things more quickly. I wonder why he came in though, because he heard the close combat? What? Oh, yeah. See, that's when I think I start to figure stuff out. I can do this. I shouldn't have. Should have just done it and not be doubting it if I have enough time, because I do have enough time. Okay, so okay. Crime noticed.
Jesus H. Christ.
How the... Okay, so... He's got his head on a swivel and I gotta wait till he's looking the other way, I guess. God damn it, man. Get this. Get this. I don't even know why I'm taking the apple, but yeah. Gotta have snacks for on the way. My trespassing thing is messing up. Kan beginnen. My wife just messaged me that I can start dinner.
Is that it?
Okay. So I have time to get this lady. Oh. Okay. Oh, she's coming through here. Okay, convenient. I'm just glad she didn't come here when I was stabbing or dragging the other lady. Okay, so now I gotta get the can I just get a security? Oh, whose security outfit did I get? Can't even remember. Was it you? It was you. Ah, that's the naked guy. I just can't.
We appreciate your time here.
Okay. Put this on. Bom, 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 bom. Okay.
Get all those jabs.
Yeah. Now I need to get my outfit back. Okay. Okay. Hey lady, hold up a second, will you?
Okay.
It's your birthday. Okay.
Command area is all clear. Please advise, over.
The problem is I can't be here. If I turn this off, it's not a dude that's coming in here, it's a lady. Yeah, see, that's a problem. You.
What? Command, we have some weird noises. I'll have a look around. Hey, what's going on?
Hi. So that also means he can't see me anymore. Well, he might see that.
Do you mind? You're really pissing me off. Can you just leave me alone? Ooh, I can feel your muscles are very tense, but just relax. Oh, Jesus. Somebody help me! Please, somebody help!
Yeah, that's not gonna work. I have to start making dinner, so... fuck this. Seriously though. Let's see. Yeah, she's alive. Okay. I'm gonna go to Red. She's playing contracts. Don't know if they're featured, but yeah, I'll get her next. I get them next time. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Those are my thingies. I tweet out when I go live, or X or whatever. And yeah, this is my YouTube channel that's got the videos for Hitman. I don't know if I can stream this weekend, and if not, I will see you guys next Friday. See you later. Bye now.